Coach, I look at the major leagues right now and the transition of the game. They're implementing, which I think is really, really funny, implementing electronic umpires possibly in the near future. You see with the changing of cheating and the game, how teams are trying to find ways to have one step over another team, aka the Astros. Is there any thought of the transition of the game, the rules of the game, that you think that should be implemented where it could change the game for the better?
Boy, that's a good question. I think that it's really funny because the mechanical strike zone, for lack of a better term, is interesting just in that the consistency that you would get. Any of our Division I umpires that might be listening will probably be pissed at me right now, but it's always better to have consistency if you can get it. But one of the beauties about our game, one of the things that makes baseball almost poetic is the human factor, and by putting the human factor in, you're going to talk about the possibility of guys screwing up. But I think that's all part of the beauty of the game as well, and I'm torn on that because as technology grows, we can make the game maybe better or faster. I sure wouldn't want to lose some of the things that have made the game great to watch. But there's no question that we in baseball can get stuck in our traditions to the point where we're not moving forward and not making the game better, and we're losing fans because our games are going too long. So it's an interesting dynamic on that. And it's a great question. I haven't been asked that question.
Talk about the experiences you had as the coach of Hawaii. You made the NCAA tournament in 2006 and 2010. And talk about those experiences and what it meant for the growth of this team.
Well, when I first came, we built the program and we've had some success here. Not as much as I think even we would like to have, but we really felt like this year's club was one of those clubs. I think it's unholy to say after 17 games our season was canceled, and I've heard coaches. Some coaches saying, "Oh man, if you saw the way we were playing, it was a given that we were going to go to Omaha in the College World Series. They were going to just mail us the trophy. We were playing so well." But we probably had our best team we've had in years, and we were off to a really good start. We had played a really good schedule. Played Washington State. We played at Vanderbilt. We played Oregon, and we were really starting to come together. It was a really good group of kids, but. We're always striving to get better every year, to get over that hump, to get University of Hawaii to the College World Series. That's our goal, and we can do that, and that's what's kept me here going on 20 years is the thought that this is a great place. First of all, just to develop players to go to the next level, but more importantly than that, to develop our kids to become better fathers and better husbands. And I think we need more of those, these days, and so it all comes together to where it's just a fun place to be.
Coach, is there a particular player that you have coached over the last couple of years that stands out, that has gone to pro ball and really has transitioned his game into the major league level?
Well, we've had a few. I guess a couple years ago we had 5 players at one point that were in the big leagues. Right now, Colton Long with the Cardinals, a great success for us was a 3-time All-American first-round draft choice, and we were really happy to see Colton win the Golden Glove for the National League second baseman last year. That was, I think, a big feather in his cap, and when we stay in touch with Colton. Colton's from Hilo on the Big Island, so he's a local boy that's done really well, and it's just so fun to watch. And actually, Colton's father, Kaha Wong, is a coach on the Big Island and helps us out quite a bit just with the baseball on the Big Island is very, very strong here in our state. But Greg Garcia with the Padres. Stephen Wright was our first All-Star, the knuckleballer, although he was actually a power pitcher when he pitched for us. He was a second-round pick, and then ended up transitioning to the knuckleball when he got it, in the pro ball. But Josh Rojas just got called up to the big leagues last year, made his big league debut, and he played for us just a couple of years ago. We're excited for him. But we just had a 4th-round pick by the Red Sox in the draft here a couple of weeks ago. Jeremy Wu Yellen, left-handed pitcher that I think could get to the big leagues, and one of our guys, Carter Lowen, a right-handed pitcher, signed with the Padres, and I wouldn't sleep on him because he's big, strong kid, 94, 95,
Wow.
with a plus cut fastball that I think he could be a guy that could get there. So we're grinding it out as best we can and focusing on trying to develop guys. We've had a lot of success with pitchers, but I think from a Hawaii standpoint, those guys have stood out. In my years at Georgia Tech and in South Florida, we had some great players that came through our program and had good big league careers. So, it's fun. I've always said that you get into coaching because you love the game, but you stay in the coaching because of the relationships that you build with your players, and it's really fun to follow your guys when they leave your program.
All right, being from Hawaii and coaching here in Hawaii, two-part question here. One, where do you stand on them bringing back the Rainbow Warriors name? And two, have you embraced the culture like the football coach, the previous football coach, now he's at Washington State, Nick Rolovich? He's worn these giant leis and seashells necklaces during the games. Have you ever done anything like that?
Rolo's a good friend, and he's a great coach, and we miss him because he's just such a good guy. But I'm so happy for him, and it's funny, when I first got here, Nick Rolovich was our quarterback, was playing for June Jones, who June Jones is one of more dynamic football coaches, one of the smarter guys that I've ever been around from a coaching standpoint, and a guy that really helped me when I first came here. But there's no question that you have to embrace our culture here. It is a different culture. It is it is different from the mainland. We're a very diverse culture. It's different from anywhere in the world. And when you embrace it, and when you when you really try to immerse yourself into what we do here, it's just a great place to be. It's about staying humble, and it's about just hard working and being grateful for what you have. And it's not for everybody. A lot of people will come here to Hawaii and they don't mesh, they don't embrace the culture, and they don't stay. And you'll see coaches come and spend a couple of years and end up just going back to the mainland because it's just something that's just not for them. It's not for everyone. But for the people it is for, it's a place where you can really put down some roots. I never thought when I came here, I was an assistant at Georgia Tech, and when I took the job, my first head coaching job, if you'd have told me that I'd be here 20 years later, I don't know if I would have believed that. But a big part of that is the culture and what we're able to go through here. But as far as wearing a lei or the puka shell necklace during a game, I've yet to do that. But anything's possible.
Oh man, the Rainbow Warriors name. I don't know about that one. Anyway,
I am pro Rainbow Warriors.
Well, it's been a funny deal because when I first came here 20 years ago, we were just the Rainbows. But then they changed it to the Warriors, and so we've kind of meshed to the for the men's sports we're the Rainbow Warriors, and for all the women's sports we are the Rainbow Wahine, which is women in Hawaiian.
Wow, I didn't even know that. That's really interesting.
As you guys know, we are talking to Hawaiian head baseball coach Mike Trapasso. Now, Mike, I before we let you go, this is something that I've never asked any coach, and I don't want to throw you under the bus so you get in trouble from your college and your team over there. If the Yankees or the Red Sox called you up right now and said, "Listen, coach, we want to hire you as the head baseball coach of our organization moving forward," would you leave the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors?
Oh, I think that that's a fair question for anybody, because I think in our business, first of all, I wouldn't expect that call, but if it ever came, you know, you always take the call. You always listen, and you know, whether it's playing or whether it's coaching, you know, we're all interested in doing the best we can. I've got a lot of energy still left. I love working with kids at the collegiate level, but you know, I've had opportunities, and I think maybe down the road I may still have opportunities, and you have to look at the idea of working in Major League Baseball because you're dealing with the best players in the world, and there's something to be said about that could be really neat. But it's a different dynamic. Like I said, here when you're dealing at the college level, you're dealing with, you know, with life lessons and developing young men to go out into the world. You know, Major League Baseball it's a different dynamic because you're in the real world, and it's about producing and winning, and but yet that's fun too. And you know, I was born and raised in St. Louis though, so I'm a lifelong Cardinals fan. So that would you know, that would be an interesting one as well. But it's always a I don't think I get in trouble. There are plenty of people probably in Hawaii that would love to see me go just anywhere other than here.
Well,
but I'm happy to be here, and I'll stay here as long as I stay here.
Well, you have some personality, Coach. So I do believe if you keep doing what you're doing over there and being, you know, bringing out your personality, eventually somebody's going to be ringing at your door. So I'll tell you this right now. We've interviewed a ton of college coaches, and I will tell you this, and I'm not putting down any coaches that we've interviewed. You've been the most relaxed and very thorough one out of most of them. So that's saying a lot. And I'm talking about Power 5 coaches, you know, throughout the country. So I think that your persistence in what you have done over there in Hawaii has been absolutely remarkable. 20 years as a head coach over there. You can't laugh at that. You have to say that this guy is successful, and he will be successful wherever he goes. So I'm happy to have you on. Coach, why don't you tell the fans how they can find you?
Hey, first of all, I really appreciate that. Check is in the mail, so we're good. But hey, you know what? You can follow us at hawaiiathletics.com. You know, that's our website, and if you go onto that website, you'll see all of the stuff that the University of Hawaii athletic department has to offer, and then you know, they'll also there'll be links to all of our social media that you can follow as we hopefully get started up again here soon, and have fun just you know, playing sports, whether it's baseball, football. We're a big volleyball state here. Our men's and women's volleyball teams are national power, so we're hoping that
Coach,
we get to just do something other than sit at home and watch reruns.
Coach, I'm getting sick and tired of watching reruns of badminton. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. I already know all of the all-stars in the cornhole World Series on ESPN. So I'm tired of watching that. We gotta get some out.
That's pretty funny. Coach, this is what I want you to do. I want you to, after you get off the phone with us, I want you to send us your email. We'd like to send you the clips of the interview and the video of the interview. So we really appreciate you. And when the season does start, we would love to get you back on to talk about Hawaii baseball and college baseball. And hopefully in the near future, you're in the College World Series, and we'll get you on as well as that on that term as well. So
I'd love that, guys. Absolutely, we'll do.
Thank you so much, Coach.
You got it, fellas. Aloha.